Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, through popular demand, I'm going to do a review on the black bean burger from Augason Farms. Alright, before I start, I want to remind you guys, I haven't done a shout out for new subscribers, I think in 2 weeks. So this Sunday's video, get mentally prepared, ladies and gentlemen. I will be doing a shout out for our new subscribers. Alright, but first, I wanted to do a shout out to a few people that have made donations to the Alaska Prepper community, okay? And I want to start off with Andaluza. All right, Andaluza bought the Alaska Prepper a coffee, so thank you very much, Andaluza. It is very much appreciated, okay? So thank you. And the second one would be Melanie. So thank you, Melanie, for buying me a coffee. It's very much appreciated. Now, I want to do a super shout out to Scott DeSantis. Scott DeSantis has done 3 super chats just in the month of February. All right, so Scott, thank you very much. You are very generous, and I want to say a very big thank you to you. I don't know what else to say. It's like I said before, whenever I get any kind of donation from any of the community members, I am very humbled and very appreciative of your guys' support, because I know that it's not easy nowadays for anyone to be able to give up a few dollars. So thank you very much for donating. Thank you very much for believing in our community and in the channel enough that you are willing to take some of your hard-earned dollars and throw it over this way. Truly appreciate it, and I really hope that you are getting enough value from the content that I'm providing you guys to be able to do that. So thank you very much. I just wanted to start off the video with that. I want to thank everyone for your support. Okay, you don't have to support the channel by donating money. If you guys want to support the channel, just let a few ads run through. If you're going to use Amazon, please use my link. That's in the description of every video. If you're going to purchase some precious metals, please use my link for that. Only if there's not a local coin shop near you, okay? If there's a local coin shop near you, please visit them first and see if you can build a relationship with them. If there's not a local coin shop near you, then I do appreciate it that you guys use my link. So thank you very much. I appreciate all of the support from everyone, okay? Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start off this review. So as you can see, we've got the black bean burger mix here from Augason Farms. And I know that when I did my payday prep, not this last one, but the one prior to that, a lot of people wanted me to review the black bean burger mix first. So that's what we're going to do. And I've got a couple little tricks up my sleeve. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to review it and follow the instructions just like it says on the can, okay? But first, what I wanted to do with this is give you guys a quick breakdown of what the ingredients are, because this is advertised as being gluten-free, okay? So it may be a good option for some of you that are not able to process gluten and are looking for an alternative, okay? So the ingredients in this is black beans. All right, so it's just black beans with salt. It also has instant long grain white rice, gluten-free quick oats, yellow peas, cornstarch, onions, tomatoes, sea salt, chili powder, guar gum, and I do believe that guar gum is something that helps to hold it together, garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, yeast extract, xanthan gum, oregano, cayenne pepper, and that's it. Those are the ingredients, okay? And the nutritional information in this one number 10 can comes with 38 servings. Each serving is a 1/4 cup of dry ingredient, okay? Each serving is equivalent to 120 calories, which has 1/2 gram of fat. All right, it has no saturated fat or trans fats or cholesterol. Each serving has 460 milligrams of salt with 24 grams of carbohydrates. All right. It also comes with 4 grams of dietary fiber, and the total sugars in this is 24 grams. Okay. The only vitamins that I see in this is a little bit of calcium, which is not really a vitamin, it's a mineral, I believe. It's got some iron, and it's got some potassium. It's got 302 milligrams of potassium. All right. That's the only 3 things that I see here that have anything to do with like minerals or vitamins. Okay, so the instructions here say that if you want to make 4 patties, you use 1 cup of dry ingredients with 3/4 cups of warm water. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to warm up some water. I'm going to get a bowl, put it here on top of my stove, and then we're going to go step by step, and then we'll take it from there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I'll be back in a minute or two, about a second or so your time, and we'll go ahead and start with the first step. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to show you what it looked like in the can. All right, I just opened this can and you can see it's pretty full. It's about 3/4 of the way up the can, and it actually has a pretty good smell. And this here is missing 1 cup. I already took 1 cup out of it. Okay, so this is what it looks like inside the can. Okay, and I've got a bowl over here. I've got a bowl over here with 1 cup. So we're looking to make about 4 patties with this, as it shows. So what this says here is that we want to go ahead and put the water in. So we're going to put 3/4 of a cup of water in here. We want to stir it, and we want to let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this step really quick. See what the consistency looks like. All right, and that was exactly 3/4 of a cup of water. And we're just going to stir this up really good. And I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes, and then I'm going to come back. All right. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, when I smell this, I bet you that if you let this sit for a while and then just warm it right back up and put a little more water in it, you could probably eat this like that, because it smells really good. I don't know about the flavor or what it tastes like yet, because I've never had this before. But it's going to be pretty interesting. Now, this says here that it's supposed to make 4 patties. And man, this doesn't look like that much, all right, to make 4 patties. But we're going to go with what the instructions are telling us to do, all right, and see how it comes out. Because right here, what this is telling me is that this here is 4 servings, and each serving is 120 calories. So what that's saying is that this right here, what you're looking at, has like 480 calories. Kind of hard to believe, but that's what it says on the can. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let this sit here for about 10 minutes. Come back and take a look at it, and I'm going to get a pan ready. I'm going to get my ghee out so that we can fry the patty in ghee, and then we'll see what it comes out like, and I'll give you guys a non-biased taste test so that you can have an idea through my taste buds on what this tastes like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this alone now, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, our mix here has absorbed all that water. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and move this to the side. I'm going to split this up into like 3 servings. This is supposed to be 4, but this really doesn't look like it's 4 servings. So I'm going to split this up into like 3 different servings. Well, I'm not going to need to do that. Let's just take 1 from here, okay? So we're going to go ahead and grab this. I'm going to put this over here so that I can place my little hamburger shaper over here. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And if you guys don't have these are pretty cool. These things make like Well, at least with ground beef, I know they do. They make like the perfect shaped hamburger. So what I'll do is I'll put that in there. I'm going to give this a little squish. All right. And that's what it looks like. Let's take this apart. Oh, that's good. It didn't peel off. So we got there what looks like a hamburger, right? Let me go ahead and grab some ghee out of the fridge. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the ghee, the batch that I made, I'm keeping the one that I filled up about 3/4 full, the pint. I'm keeping it in the fridge in addition to this one. But I kept one that didn't seal. I'm keeping it in the cupboard outside of the fridge. And I'm going to check it every month or so and see how it's doing. Because ghee is supposed to last, according to the article I read, it's supposed to last longer than you live without going bad. So I'm going to keep that one in the cupboard and see how long we can keep it in there before it starts getting scary. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Let me get a spoon. Now that our burger is made, I'm going to move this over. And I'm going to put a pan over here. And I'm going to grab me about a tablespoon or so of ghee. And we're going to cook this up. We're going to see how this thing comes out. Tell you the truth, I'm a little bit excited. I'm really looking forward to see how this thing comes out. So let me go ahead and grab a spatula. Also, I'm unprepared, ladies and gentlemen. I should have had this ready. But luckily, I have a real small kitchen. And all I have to do is turn around. So I'm going to grab a spatula. I'm going to go ahead and melt this up. And this ghee, ladies and gentlemen, this is the one that I canned back in May of 2013. And it smells really good. Some people might say that it doesn't smell good because they've never had it before. But it smells exactly how it's supposed to smell. It's got a nutty flavor. And it kind of smells like butter, but really concentrated. All right, so it kind of smells like a concentrated butter, if you can picture that smell. But I really hope that you guys took a look at my ghee video where I made the ghee and that you try yourselves. Because I think that it's a really good way to store fats for long term without having to worry about, refrigerating it. Okay, so, and the thing is, it's kind of weird because after the ghee melts, you don't smell it anymore. So like right now that it's melted, the flavor is dissipating. Well, I mean, not the flavor, but the smell is dissipating. So I really don't smell it anymore. So you see how nice and quick that melted off? So I'm just going to go ahead and let this get a little bit warm. And then I'm going to get my patty that I formed up ready. And I'm going to get a plate as well. Alright. And then we're going to make 3 different batches, ladies and gentlemen. Something I didn't tell you before. But we're going to make 3 different batches. And after we make this one, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do with those others. Alright, so this looks like it's nice and hot now. I'm going to go ahead and grab my patty. And the patty really holds together really well. Look at that. I'm going to go ahead and put it on there. And right now I've got it about medium heat. That's what I've got it, okay? Give me a second. I'm washing off my hands real quick. Alright. Like I said, I got it about medium heat. I'm going to make sure that some of that ghee... And look at how much... That ghee went really far. I would say that's probably about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half of ghee. Alright, look at that. It's not falling apart or anything. At first, I thought that maybe it would fall apart when I tried to pick it up, but it stayed together pretty well. And you're supposed to fry it until it just gets a little bit crisp on each side. Look at that, it's not sticking or anything. That's pretty cool. So far, so good, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty excited to see how this thing turns out. Now, let me tell you what the other two methods that I'm going to use to cook this is. With what I've got left over in the bowl, I'm going to add a couple, well, I'm going to add the equivalents of 1 egg from the Augason Farms whole egg powder, right? So I'm going to add the equivalents of 1 egg in there and then mix it up and then fry it up just like I'm doing with this one to see if it adds anything to the texture and to see if it makes it fluffier, okay? And then I'm going to cook one just like that with the egg in it. And then I'm going to cook another one with a little bit of ground beef in it to see what that's like. Now, remember to keep your heat medium to low because this ghee has a high flash point, which means that it will actually get as hot as like 470 degrees before it starts to burn, okay? So you can actually deep fry stuff in ghee if you needed to. I wouldn't recommend it because it would take an awful lot of ghee to deep fry stuff in it. But for frying things like this, I think it's a great thing to use ghee to fry things like this because it adds a lot of flavor to the food that you're eating. So I'm going to let that sit there for a second or two more. All right. And this actually is looking pretty good. Let's take a look and see what the other side looks like. This side is pretty well brown. Look at that. That looks really nice. That does look pretty nice. And the thing is also, ladies and gentlemen, with this mixture that you have here that doesn't have any eggs or anything in it, it's just right out of the can, you don't really need to cook this very long because there's nothing in here that would cause you to get ill if it's not cooked thoroughly, all right? Everything here is pretty much plant-based. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this off. Okay, I'm going to turn off my heat. Then I'm going to take this off and I'm going to put it in on the plate. We're going to let it sit there for a couple of minutes. Okay, let me move this over here. So we're going to let it sit on this plate for a couple of minutes before we do anything else with it. And while that's resting for a couple of minutes, I'm going to go ahead and grab some of the Augason Farms whole egg mix, all right, powdered eggs. And the equivalence of 1 whole egg is 2.5 tablespoons. So that's 2. That's about 2.5. Now we have to add about 2.5 tablespoons of water. So let's see over here. Bam. So we'll add about 2.5 tablespoons of water to that. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix it up. And also what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is after I taste that, I'm going to see if it needs any kind of spices, you know, for my liking. Like maybe it might need a little more salt, which it probably won't, because each serving is supposed to have about 400 and some milligrams of sodium. So it may not need any salt. But you know, I might want to add a little bit of extra garlic to it, maybe a little extra onion powder, you know, things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this sit here. We're going to let this rest all over again since I just added some of the egg mixture to that. All right, let those eggs hydrate. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a taste test of this. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit of ketchup, put it on the side to see what it tastes like with ketchup or without. So let me grab that. Let's see. We just put a little bit right here. Uh-oh. Alaska pepper needs some new ketchup. Just about out of ketchup there. All right. Let me grab a fork. All right. Let's see what this thing tastes like. It's got a nice crunchy outside. Crunchy crust. All right. And this is what it looks like. Actually looks pretty good. I'm going to try this without anything on it. And it also smells really good. It smells really good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like black beans, you're going to like this. This is definitely a hit. I mean, this is really good. Man, I'm like really surprised. This is really good. You can taste the black beans in it, but that's not all you taste. It's got different levels of flavor, so you can taste some of the seasoning in there. The only thing that I would add to this would be a little bit more garlic powder for my taste buds. But other than that, it's really good just on its own. I'm going to try a little bit with this ketchup. Outstanding. I'm going to have some more with the ketchup. This is really good. Now, I think that eating this with buns, with bread, I think it would be too much bread. I think just eating this by itself and maybe having some tomatoes or a little bit of a salad on the side, this would be perfect. Or maybe even a little bit of rice on the side, you know, with some of this. I think it would be a perfect meal. But definitely with some tomatoes or a salad, I think it would be great. For those of you that are allergic to gluten or cannot eat gluten, I think this is a great alternative because I'm not allergic to gluten. I mean, all you have to do is look at me and you'll know that I'm not allergic to very many things. But I really like the way that this tastes. This is really a good product so far. Man, and you know, I'm going to try it with eggs in it, and then I'm going to try it with a little bit of meat also. But I have to say that just cooking it like this, following the instructions on the can, no complaints whatsoever. I'm going to have another piece because it really is good. Man, that's good. And I'm not saying that just to say that, ladies and gentlemen. That's really good. All right, so what we're going to do is, man, I'm definitely going to eat the rest of that. See how hot that is. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make another patty with the eggs in it. All right, so we're going to grab about this much here. Now, this one might be a little sticky, but we'll see. Okay. Let's put this over it. Let's go ahead and bring this. And let's see how this one works out. This one might be a little stickier. It looks good so far. Let's put our pan back on here. I'm going to start my pan back up. Right? Hopefully this will come out pretty good. It is a little stickier because of the eggs I put in there, but that's okay. I think it'll still come out all right. I'm just going to have to wash my hands again. Yeah, it's coming out pretty good. I'll show you all here in a second. That's what it looks like right there. That's with the eggs. And I'm going to go ahead and let me see if I can get away with just using the same ghee I have in there already. All right. Okay. There we go. That'll start frying up here in a second. Let me go wash my hands, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and it's starting to fry up already, which is good. Nice. I kind of like this pan. I got a set of 3 of these pans. These are the ones that have like the porcelain or whatever this is. This coating, which is a non-stick coating. And it's not the Teflon, which is supposedly not good for you. And this thing is pretty nice. I got a brand new set of 3 off Craigslist for like, I think it was like $35 or something like that. Which I think was a pretty good deal. You know what? I'm going to grab some more ketchup and put some more on that plate so I can try this one. Because I'll tell you what, the ketchup really gives it a nice little kick. Well, ladies and gentlemen, while this is frying up, let me thank you guys for joining in today. All right, I hope that you guys had a good week. I actually had a couple of days off this week, so I had a pretty short week as far as work goes. But I hope that you all had a good week. And I do appreciate you all hanging out here today. I hope that we're having a good time chatting, as we always do. And so far, I have to say that I am pretty happy with this product. And you know what? One of the things that I was most worried about when I first looked at this was how well will it stay together when you fry it. Now, I definitely would not try cooking this over a grill. I think that cooking this over a grill will probably end up breaking apart when you try to take it off, because I think it might stick to a grill. I think this way right here, the way that I'm cooking it, is probably the best way to cook it. But you all have to do what you want to do as far as how you want to prepare it. And it's just experimenting. Look at that, it looks really nice. I have a feeling that putting the eggs in there is really not going to do too much to the flavor. I was just thinking about putting the eggs in there to help it hold a little bit better, but it held just fine using the original recipe. So while that's frying up there, I'm going to go ahead and open up this pack of ground beef that I got. I got a pack of 93% ground beef. And normally when I make burgers, I get the 80-20. But I got this today because I got the 93% today because it was on sale. So I'm like, you know what? This is on sale and I'm just going to get this. It was actually less expensive than the 80-20. So I ended up getting this instead. Alright, so let's see. Well, this is still high. We got to make sure. I left my heat on high, and look at that, that's not bad at all. I left my heat on high and that ghee is not burning. Yep, so let's go ahead and let it fry up there a little bit longer. I turn my heat down to medium or medium-low. And while that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and mix in my meat with the rest of that burger. Or with the rest of the black bean burger mix. I have a feeling this is going to be a hit. The mixture of the black bean burger with the beef. This here is definitely going to be able to make 2 patties though. So let's take a look. Alright, I'm going to turn this off now and let it sit there for just a second. And while that's resting there for just a second, let me take it off. I'm going to have it rest on the plate over here. And while that's resting, I'm going to go ahead and make another burger. So this is my black bean burger mix that's got about the same amount of ground beef in it. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and make another burger patty out of this. And let's see what happens with this. I have a feeling this one's going to be really tasty with that meat in it. Alright. It formed pretty well as well. And I'm going to go ahead and fry this one up also. So look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That ghee that I used, probably about 1.5 tablespoons, I would say, was enough to fry all of these up. So I'm getting my... So this one here is the one that's got burger in it with eggs as well. Okay, let me go wash my hands again. put it on medium-low. And while that's cooking, all right, we're going to go ahead and try this one. You know what? I'm not going to try this one out. I'm going to wait till this one's done. That way you guys can take a look and see what they look like. All separate. So ladies and gentlemen, for Sunday's video, I'm just going to do an old-fashioned Q&A Sunday. I've actually been picking out a few questions throughout the week that we can go over that are pretty good questions that I think people will benefit from me reading, you know, on the video. So that's what this Sunday's video is looking like. So I hope you guys can join in tomorrow and hang out just like we're doing today. All right, stand by. And ladies and gentlemen, before I forget, let me tell you guys that I'm going to leave the link for the black bean burger mix on a pinned comment, all right? Because I do recommend this. After trying it, I definitely recommend it. I think it's a pretty good deal, especially from Amazon, because like I said in my previous video for this week's payday prep, Walmart was charging $20 per can for this black bean burger, and Amazon, I think they're selling it for like $13 a can. So that's not a bad deal. Look at that. That actually looks pretty darn good. So we're going to let that there. Oh yeah, that looks nice. And I do have a feeling that using the ghee definitely helps with the flavor. It adds a little extra layer of flavor on it. It's not overpowering at all. You can barely taste that ghee in there. It's kind of like an afterthought, really. All right, so it's not that, it doesn't overpower your palate, right? Because I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have experience with using ghee, when you first open it and smell it, you're going to be like, oh, this doesn't smell right. But no, it's supposed to smell the way it does. It kind of, I guess a better way of describing the smell is almost smells like cheese. It's what it almost smells like. But it's really has a good flavor, and it gives that extra layer of flavor to your food. And it is really pleasant too. It's not overpowering. It doesn't taste bad at all. Let's go ahead and leave that there for a second or two. Because this one here, remember, it's got meat in it. So I want to make sure that we can cook this one all the way through. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn off our stove. I'm going to put that over there for now. Let it rest for a second. I'm going to put my plate over here. Now this one here, ladies and gentlemen, this is the one that I cooked with the eggs in it. Okay, so let's see what this is like. I'm going to taste it without anything in it first. Putting the eggs in there didn't do much to the flavor. It still tastes the same. Tastes a little bit with ketchup on it. I really like it with the ketchup. I want to compare this one and this one. This is the one without the eggs in it. I think that the one without any eggs in it tastes a lot better than with the eggs in it. Let me try another piece with the one with eggs in it. Man, they're both good. But this one is just a little bit better than this one. So far, just making it the way that the instructions tell you to make it, so far, that's the winner. Okay? So far, following the instructions is the winner. Okay? So let's go ahead and line up our first place right here and compare it to the one that's got a little bit of meat in it. This is going to be pretty interesting here. All right. Now the one with a little bit of meat in it, it seems like it's a little looser. So it seems like it would fall apart a little easier. Let's see. Yeah, it will. But let's taste it with a little bit of ketchup first. And it's pretty hot. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to try this. The one where I mixed about half and half of the original mix and half with ground beef. This right here, even if you use this method to try to save money on ground beef because you only use half as much as you normally do, and even though it's still a little bit, you know, it's not as firm. You see how it falls apart a little bit easier? This here has a great flavor. It's a flavor that's better than if you just had the beef by itself. And it's better than if you just had the burger mix by itself. So this right here, as far as I'm concerned, as far as my taste buds go, is tastier than both of these. Okay, and it's tastier than if I just made a burger just with meat. Another try. You know, maybe it's because I haven't had dinner yet. I guess this is going to be my dinner. But this is really good. I highly recommend this. I want to encourage you guys to try this because this is actually very, very good. I almost don't want to stop eating it. But I know that I do because if not, this video will last forever. That is delicious. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. And I'm going to put my next and last burger in here. So altogether, ladies and gentlemen, I probably only used about 1/4 pound of beef to make 2 of these burgers. The ones that have beef in them. So you're looking at using about 2 ounces of beef with the equivalent of the black bean burger mix to make 1 burger. And as far as I'm concerned, it tastes better than just a plain beef burger. All right, this is a winner as far as I'm concerned. Okay, it's definitely a winner. So give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me wash my hands real quick. Yeah, absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Please give this a try. Because I'm telling you, if you guys like to eat as much as I do, you're really going to like this. And the thing is, too, is that it's good for you. It's really not bad for you. And I'm actually using the lean beef with this. And that's good as well. And like I said before, I usually don't use the lean beef when I make burgers that are made just of beef. But, you know, I'm going to feed some of this to my family and see how they like it. And this may be a new way that we make burgers over here in the AP family. Because like I said, it's really good. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about it at all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions about this, maybe something that I forgot to cover. Let me know. If any of you have bought this and tried it, let us know how you like it. All right. So the more input about this product, the better. That way, people that have not tried it can get an idea of what it's like before they try it, you know, before they buy it. And if you do decide to buy it, remember that I have a link on there for the Amazon store. And having said that as well, if you guys find this cheaper somewhere else, please let us know in the comments so that we can send people that way. Because like I said, it's not all about using the Amazon links that I provide. Because if you can find it cheaper and save the community as a whole and save everyone that wants to buy it money, that's what it's all about. Okay, because you need to remember that when you buy long-term food storage, make sure that you try it. Don't buy something and just put it away. Make sure that you know that you and your family are going to like eating what you're buying. You don't want to get stuck with 6 months worth of food storage, and then if you ever have to get into it because there's a crisis of any sort, then your family won't like it and they won't eat it. Because then that's not really doing you any good. Okay, so make sure that if you buy something, don't take someone else's word for it. Right here, I'm telling you guys that I think this is excellent. I think it's an excellent product and it tastes really good. But my taste buds are not like yours. You might hate this. But if you buy one, all right, and you try it and you decide you don't like it, then you only bought one. Whereas if you buy 3 or 4 or 5 and you put it away, and 5 years from now you may have to get into it because you have to use it, and you decide you don't like it, you're stuck with it, okay? So make sure that you guys are trying the foods that you buy for long-term storage, okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be about it. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer because all we're doing here is just frying up that last burger, all right? So thank you very much for joining in today. I know this is probably a shorter video than I normally make. However, I'm not going to try to make the video longer just to make it longer. Okay, so thank you very much, all of you, for joining in today. I appreciate you guys stopping by. It's truly a pleasure to host and to have you guys come along and participate with all the chatting that we do. All right, it's one of the things that I look forward to every Saturday and Sunday. All right, so having said that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for all of your support. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys know what to do. I appreciate everyone's support in any way that you guys can contribute. All right, I hope that you had a good week. Like I said before, I hope that you have an even better weekend. Okay, make sure that you're safe out there. If you're in one of those states that's getting hammered by snow and ice and rain, just be careful. Okay, be safe. Make sure that you have your preps. Okay, that way you don't have to be going out there and trying to compete with other people that are trying to do last-minute shopping because they were not prepared. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so having said that, remember to be good to each other. Remember that when good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.